Welcome back to BNC Now. It is half past the hour. The holiday weekend push for a return to normal life came as health officials warned that the U.S. has not contained the coronavirus. According to Johns Hopkins University, in 10 states, the number of new COVID-19 cases is on the decline.
Yeah, but the data shows it appears to be steady in 22 states. However, in 18 others, including Alabama, the number of new cases is rising. As Gary Tuckman reports, that didn't appear to be a concern for some of the thousands of beachgoers who spent the weekend in Gulf Shores.
Coronavirus cases in Alabama are going the wrong way. They are trending up, but the state is now wide open for business. Social distancing is the state's rule, but that effort has often been an exercise in futility at restaurants and bars in the beach towns of Alabama this Memorial Day weekend, as people come back to party. At this restaurant and bar in Gulf Shores, Alabama, many wonder why it took this long to open.
I'm just here just to have fun and meet everybody and just be cool, you know.
Across the street, the beach is jammed. Groups are supposed to be 6 feet away from each other. Police work to enforce that. The groups are also ordered to only consist of people who live in the same household. There is no active effort to enforce that. Bailey Carr is 21. She just graduated from college.
I mean, everybody's got to go somehow, you know what I mean?
You mean die?
Yeah, but in a way, like, I mean, I don't want to die, but I mean, if that's what God has in store for my life, then that's okay.
My family has the same mindset as me, and we kind of just agreed that if we get it, we get it. We're going to handle it as a family and just get over it, because that's what family does.
When it comes to coronavirus, medical experts will tell you they're very concerned about the immediate future here in Alabama. On this beach, though, your eyes and ears will tell you something much different.
Just like the flu, right?
Well, it's not just like the flu. It's far more contagious.
Well, I know, but people die from the flu also.
They do die from the flu.
So, to me, that's just the way I look at it.
Do you have any concerns about being at the beach with so many people with your children?
Not at all.
How come you're not worried at all that someone could be sick and walk by you and get you sick?
Because there's enough wind and air that it's going to clear it all out of here.
Yeah, but the wind and the air don't clear it away.
Well,
there's no proof of anything like that. There's wind and air everywhere in this world.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not worried about it at all.
And then there is the issue of masks. We saw a grand total of 0 being worn on the beach.
Do you ever wear a mask?
No. My wife and kids do. I don't.
How come you don't?
I just feel comfortable that I'm going to be okay.
But the mask isn't to keep you okay, it's to keep your wife and kids okay. To protect them.
I get it. I get it. The survival rate is so high, I think...
You're not worried about them getting sick because they're going to live.
We're all going to get sick for something eventually.
President Trump is part of this conversation.
I mean, if he's not wearing a mask, I'm not going to wear a mask. If he's not worried, I'm not worried.
The president?
Yes, sir.
Speaking of masks, Alabama has mandated them for restaurant and bar workers. Some restaurants have them, but at others where we arrived unannounced and shot cell phone video, employees were not wearing masks. The manager here telling us after our visit, he has now given masks to his employees with instructions to wear them. At this other restaurant bar where we also saw no employees wearing masks, the manager told us they will continue not wearing them because she wants it that way, despite it violating the state order. Traffic very heavy in Alabama's beach towns. All nearby hotels sold out as the holiday weekend began. Alabama is back in business, COVID surge or not.
When it's my time to go, it's just my time to go, I guess.
All right, well, there you have it. People still not social distancing. And as we speak right now, President Trump is actually holding a briefing in the White House Rose Garden talking about seniors and COVID-19. So we have yet for that press conference to wrap up. We'll have details on that. But you can't get away from it. People can be in denial all they want. There is a problem here.
Laverne, I started to just tell you to talk because I don't want to get in trouble. No, but you know what? Gulf Shores is a very lovely place. I once worked and lived in Alabama. Gulf Shores, very lovely. But if you hear me say that I'm going to Gulf Shores anytime soon, considering what we just saw, just strike me over the head and knock me out. And then when I come to, maybe I will have also come to my senses. My favorite part, though, was my man that said, my family has the same mindset as me, and we just kind of agreed that as a family, we're going to handle it as a family, and we'll just get over it. Well, the problem, sir, is if your family gets it, you all won't be able to handle it together because you'll be separated
all sick.
and you won't be able to see each other. When that comes to him, I suppose maybe the light bulb will come on. Also, the gentleman who said that President Trump doesn't wear a mask, so he will not wear a mask. Important that the people at the top of the leadership chain understand they are passing off a message when they do or don't.
And it's clear that they know what's going on. I mean, let's face it, for whatever reason, people are very short-sighted. They're thinking about just the immediate future. They don't realize how it's going to affect everything. So if that man thinks that he's getting sick and, well, you know, his family will deal with it, he's not thinking of the health costs involved. He's not thinking of, you know, overloading the hospital system. Right. He's not thinking of his job security. He's not thinking of, you know, how that affects, you know, those around him, his
right.
co-workers. Does that affect the food supply chain, the economic supply chain, all the big picture things? When it's one person, it's one thing, but you know, thousands of people, which is what's happening, thousands of people are getting sick from this at the same time with no cure, and it is causing trouble to the entire system. So people think very, you know, narrow. They think just of themselves and what's immediately, well, I'll get sick and then I'll be okay in 2 weeks. That's just not how it works. Right. I mean, it's going to bring a lot of, and what if there's complications? Right. Maybe one of your family members can't fight it off as well as you can. What if the hospital you go to is overwhelmed and doesn't have a ventilator or whatever you need? I mean, there's just so many factors that people are just not taking into consideration. And it's amazing that they're so concerned about having fun that they're not seeing the long-term problems that are associated with this. And New York Governor Andrew Cuomo today said, show me what people are doing today and I can predict what's going to happen in the future. He said it himself today, actually, meaning he can tell what parts there's going to be problems because if people were not social distancing and not following, you know, proper procedures, you're going to see huge outbreaks, going to overwhelm the healthcare system, overwhelm the, you know, all the people who need, you can't even go to the store and get, you know, alcohol anymore. You're telling me things are normal? You can't get, not booze, but you know what I mean, rubbing alcohol. Yes, yes. You can't get, you know, you can't get masks, you can't get hand sanitizer, you can't get Lysol. Things are not normal.
But you can get coronavirus if you continue to act like that. All right, coming up here on BNC Now.
Shouldn't laugh about that, but you have to laugh, not to cry.
It's true. Find out why this woman will play a pivotal role in whether the NBA will resume play again this season. Stay tuned. You're watching BNC Now.